This entire episode is all about the Carnival spirit. I am your host, Grendel, and this one I've been wanting to do for a while, but it doesn't really fit in so much with the Undertaking Satan theme, which is that, of course, of my profession as a funeral director, embalmer, all of that sort of stuff. This came about because I was listening to a documentary. I'm not even going to call it a documentary. It was an interview with someone talking about Anton Lavey. I hear this so much that it's just a dull roar. What I'm talking about specifically is the idea that Anton Lavey was a carny. It's just amazing to me how much people don't get it. The fact that Anton Lavey was a career con man only lends credibility to him, if you're asking me. This is a person who made a career out of doing exactly what he wanted to do, and this is the part that other folks just miss altogether, and it gives me a little bit of the warm and fuzzies, to tell you the truth. He made a career out of making other people happy, and I know that's a weird thing to say because everyone kind of focuses on the dark and mysterious and intellectual side of Anton Lavey, but I'm talking about Anton Lavey as what people try to portray him as. Now, I'm not going to say that he was a simple carny, because if you look at his career and everything that he did in the showbiz entertainment field, everything from playing various keyboard instruments to working with big cats to all the little things that he probably never even mentioned, like helping her out around the lot and getting from place to place. And then that's not even considering the stuff he did in nightclubs and all of the performances that he put together. So this entire episode is all about the Carnival spirit, is what I'm going to call it. And to me, that's akin to what a satanic folk refer to as the black flame. It's the idea that life should be about fulfillment, enrichment, accomplishment. It's just a thing that comes second nature to us, but to other people, either intentionally or inadvertently, spend their entire lives trying to drown that flame before they are dead. I'm going to tie it in with funeral service the best I can, and I'm going to touch on a conversation I had not too long ago with another satanic funeral director by the name of Kat. Kat and I were talking about our various, not really side hustles, but her side hustle, making bath bombs and all the things she does over at As You Like It Bath. But for me, it was more of, like the things I enjoy, like professional wrestling. We didn't talk about tarot, but I am a tarot reader, and that stems from a very carnival type of vibe, in my estimation, no matter what the white light practitioners will try to tell you. I think that it's very psychological, very dark, very wonderful, very fun, very carnival spirited, if you will. Where does this come from? Where does this desire to talk about this come from? Well, the desire to talk about this really comes from the things that I enjoy. And I understand that outside of funeral service, all of the things that I enjoy really are centered around this carny vibe, carny aesthetic. Now, I want to be clear, I have not been a carny, okay? I have been a rides operator. There's a big difference kind of in the world between someone who works in an amusement park, which I have done and loved. It's my second favorite job I've ever had, and I really wish I could find a way to be a funeral director and a rides operator at the same time, but alas, they both take up a great deal of time. Maybe one day I'll figure that out. So there's a difference between that and what people would traditionally call a carny, which is a member of a traveling carnival. I'm not throwing any shade at carnies. Actually, they're kind of, in an odd way, my heroes. It's something that I want to do. I want to, before I die, at least do one complete season, one complete circuit with a traveling carnival. Everyone's gonna jump on and say, Grendel, it's not what you think it is. It's horrible and it's terrible hours and low pay, and I know all of that. But I still want to do it anyway. Why, do you ask? Well, back when I was a little Grendel and living in the middle of nowhere in the Midwestern United States, surrounded by nothing but soybean fields. On the 4th of July, the carnies would come, and they would set up in the middle of town, and you would have your festivities. It was a wonderful thing for me as a young child to see these, back then, prominently male, tattooed, greasy-haired, dirty people come. People who, quite honestly, freaked me the hell out from most of their appearances. Then, from nothing, just from these trucks that would roll in, would build this lighted empire that would just shine in the middle of this desolate nowhereness. And then they would run the rides and sell the food and tend the games and sell the tickets and do everything that they needed to do. And then they would just pack up and move on in a few days' time. It was crazy to me. I think that really, as a young person, shaped my understanding of life and what I want to do and my idea of bringing carnival fun to people. Back to something I just skipped over, which was the conversation with Kat. We talked about this idea of balance, this idea that we take care of the dead and we take care of the grieving families and we do all of these sorts of things that really are stressful and all of that. Is it fulfilling work? Yes, it is, but it also leaves you feeling very unbalanced. You feel like you're just putting a band-aid on a shotgun wound, if that makes any sense. Like, you're technically doing something, but you know the bleeding's never going to stop, and you know what's eventually going to happen. So when it comes to that other side of that scale, it needs to be additive instead of just futile. No matter how hard we try to put the floodgates on grief and help with it, and as much as we talk about wanting to be open and honest and at one with the fact that death is a thing and it's a part of life, there's another part of me, that black flame burning deep inside of me, that Schopenhauer type of will that says, fuck death. I don't want to die. I don't want anyone to die. Well, as long as they're cool. I want to have fun. I want to party. I want to be the guy. I want to be the guy that travels the earth and just helps to build these claptrap type of really awesome rides and lighting spectacles that are carnivals. I want to be the guy that's barking out at the games. I want to be, well, we don't have hoochie coochie shows anymore. We really should. But I want to be the guy who just brings that sinful goodness to a small area that doesn't have it. That's right, guys. Grendel wants to be a carny. And I will, at some point, mark my words. I know this is a pretty short one, but hey, I just wanted to get that out there. I might not even make it episode 13. Really, I wanted to release this in memoriam of Anton Lavey. He died just a few days before Halloween. Upon his death, there's always a bunch of misinformation that is thrown out there about the circumstances of his passing or the circumstances of his life. And I just want to be a bit of a positive voice out there saying, hey, this guy was indeed a con man, but that was a great thing. He conned people into having a good time. He conned people into embracing that black flame. So if you want to tell me that Anton Lavey is a con man, I completely agree, and I hope to be one just like